Hello, my name is Jacob Stark, and I am here with Doc Radford, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Uh,
First name?
my name is Jacob Stark.
Okay, Mr. Stark.
So my first question is, what branch of service did you work in, and what wars have you been in?
So I say, at this point, I have to speak into the mic, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to hold it?
You can if you want.
Just say. I'll just say. It's all good? There.
But you don't have to like lean out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll catch it.
All right. So the first question is, what wars did you serve in, and in what branches of service?
Well, I would have to first say, what up, Kansas American Legion Boy State. And I was in the United States Army. And I was in the Army for 29 years.
So what wars did you participate in?
War? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I'll say it again.
All right.
No, I was a senior in high school, and I liked to party. And I knew that if I continued to party, I wouldn't be able to make it in the real world. So I was going to go to college, but I knew if I went to college, I would party. So I decided to find some discipline in my life. So I said, I'm going to join the Army. And I always wanted to be a warrior in some sense or another. And that was during Vietnam. So I enlisted in the Army. And at that point, during Vietnam, you enlisted in the Army, there was something wrong with you. Because the only reason you'd be in the Army at that time is that you got drafted. But I enlisted in the Army because I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Vietnam and do what was right for the democracy of that country and for what I thought, taking care of the United States of America. But when you join the Army, you take an aptitude test. I took this aptitude test to find out what kind of job I would have in the Army. They said, you could be a medic if you want. I said, that's cool. I always liked biology. So that's what I did, basic medic. But I still wanted to go to Vietnam. And so I wanted to be an airborne ranger. I said, well, as soon as I finish this basic medic course, I'm going to go to jump school, then I'm going to go to ranger school, then I'm going to go to Vietnam. But I did so well in the medic course, a nurse came down from the hospital and said, you can go to nursing school. I said, well, hell, that's why I joined the Army, so I could get some education and go to Vietnam. But I said, okay. So I signed up and I went to this nursing course. So after the nursing course, everybody was going to Vietnam. And I was on the list to go to Vietnam. And then my name came off the list to go to Vietnam. So I just stayed in the United States of America and worked in Army hospitals, took care of all those wonderful soldiers that went to Vietnam and got their lives messed up pretty bad. So I feel I did my part for all the soldiers that went to Vietnam, and so I said, medical field is for me. So during that time, I started going to college part-time and then full-time. Got a degree in biology, bachelor's degree. Then I got a master's degree in biology, all from the GI Bill. So the Army was very, very good to me at that time because I got 2 degrees and got it on the GI Bill. And then I said, well, I think I could be a doctor. I worked with doctors all the time as a medic and nurse, and I decided I wanted to be a doctor. So I applied to medical school, went to medical school on the Army Health Profession Scholarship Program. So once again, the Army was very, very good to me. And after completing my doctorate, I did my internship, internal medicine residency, allergy immunology fellowship, all through the military. And by the time I had completed all of that and paid back what I owed the government for my 4 years of medical school, I had a year left. And so I stayed in the Army and completed my retirement. And so I went in as an E1 and went out as an O5. So private to lieutenant colonel. Once again, I would have to say, the Army was very, very good to me. And then I retired in 1999 and continued my practice of allergy, immunology, internal medicine until December of 2016, and I retired this year. And I've been coming to the American Legion Boys State for 20 years, taking care of all the staters that would have any problems with homesickness, food sickness, twisted ankles, sprained knees, cut fingers, runny noses.
Yeah. Well,
And whatever else they have going on.
yeah.
We would triage them appropriately to get them where they need to go. I took pride in doing that, and I continue to take pride in doing that.
Well, thank you for your answer. That was a really good answer. Probably just have a couple more questions, right? So how did you stay in touch with your family? Or like your family and your friends whenever you left?
Well, I was only out of the country for 13 months, and that was in Korea. During the Vietnam era, I was in Korea, and we were on alert quite a bit. I was stationed in Uijeonbu, the place where MASH was filmed, if you're all familiar with MASH. And so we had a dispensary there, ran that dispensary. And the way we kept track or in touch was with letters, because they didn't have internet back then. I would send cassette tapes back and forth sometimes so we could hear our voices. And it was a long 13 months, but made it home and things were beautiful again. And was glad to be back in the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave.
Absolutely. So how did it feel for you to come home after those 13 months?
I realized that there was no other place better in this world than the United States of America. Even in Korea, which was somewhat civilized at that time, I mean, they were still somewhat of a developing country when I was there. And the United States Army presence there deterred any communist threat that was out there at that time. So, and we're still there today doing the same thing.
Okay.
Sorry to ramble on.
Yeah, you're all right. You're perfectly fine. Did you make any close friendships while in the service?
More than I can count. Have I seen any of those guys again? I'd have to say no. But you make tight friendships. Similar to being at Boy State. You make friendships here that you may not see these guys again, but when you do see them, you'll say, hey, I know you. We served together somewhere. And you guys will say, we're at the 80th session of Kansas American Legion Boys State and damn proud of it. You'll say, brother.
So sorry, I'm trying to organize my questions here. So how did your service and experiences affect your life?
Well, for one, I was on the highway to hell, and it turned my life around and helped me to develop those disciplines necessary to carry on a normal, productive life. So I feel that because of the military, it had made my life successful. And now I'm successful and I'm retired. Now, the military, as well as being involved in activities like Kansas American Legion Boys State, I hope to someday say yes. I also made a significance because of my military life that I had and the way it taught me to carry on my life from there on.
Well, do you think we have any more time for more questions? Yeah, we have time for a couple more questions. Is there anything you would like to add that we haven't covered so far?
Well, I can't say for sure.
Do you have any advice to give the leading staters?
My advice to staters, all you guys that are here are above average to the top of your classes and what we call the cream of the crop. And I know all of you may have the probably, oh, pardon me. Shut that off. Can you hold it for just a second?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Yeah. Okay, there should be someone there. All right, bye. They had to make sure my air conditioner was running at home, so thank them very much. And we were talking about that all you are here have the abilities, like Clint was saying, you can do whatever you want to do and do. But there are those individuals that aren't the brainiacs that are going to go on to be college and rocket scientists and nuclear engineers and even have the desire to go to college. So the United States military offers that opportunity to find a area in your life that interests you that you can grow on to make it a career. You know, you don't have to be a soldier or infantryman unless you want to do that. That's what your calling is. But you can do. The military can make you the person that you want to be many times, and train you in a career field that you'll spend the rest of your life doing and loving it. You know, it doesn't have to be a soldier. You're a soldier always, and you're always ready at the drop of a dime to be called to go somewhere to defend this wonderful God created nation. So, but you can also find that place in your life where you want to work and what you want to do the rest of your life and be trained that way. And you can also, like I did, use it to get your college degree and whatever happens after that.
All right.
Definitely a confidence builder, and that's one of the key things about the military.
Okay. Thank you for your question again, or for your response again. I think we only have two more questions left. How many years have you been here working for Boy State?
Well, I went to Iowa American Legion Boy State in 1969, and then I was in the high school, finished high school, was in the military, and once I got to my permanent duty station, I think was Fort Riley, Kansas, and was the physician out there in Chief Department of Medicine, that I wanted to give back. And I remember how Boy State had influenced my life back then in 1969. So I wanted to do something at Boy State. And I knew they didn't have a physician that covered Boy State. And they'd just send everybody to the emergency room or to a clinic or something whenever they had problems. So I was able to utilize my profession to come to Boy State and give that week back every year to Boy State that God directed me to do. And I've been doing that for 20 years now.
So I assume that's the same answer for why do you keep coming back to Boy State?
Well, for that reason, and sometimes I also do county advisor at the same time I'm doing the medical advisor. This year I was not able to do that because of circumstances beyond my control and that I'm dealing with now. And but also as a county advisor, able to share patriotism with the staters and what it means to me, and be able to discuss that with my county as well as everything that goes along with being American.
All right. I think that's all the time we have for questions now. So thank you very much again, and we will be seeing you around.
For God and country.